What is up, everybody? We are back in the building. Guys, we got a lot going on in the world today. Um, as you know, I've been spending a lot of time over at No Jumper. And honestly, I've been having a lot of fun over there. And I really feel like we got a good thing going so far. But I have to apologize to everyone on my channel because I know that I've been neglecting you guys. We haven't been talking about the stuff we normally talk about. And as you know, I kind of been venturing off into other uh genres or or subject matter. Um the world has been going absolutely crazy. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna stay true to ourselves. We're gonna keep doing what got us to this point. Because I think without a shadow of a doubt, we have proven that we got something good going on over here. We have something of value going on over here. And honestly, we can we can punch with the best of them. We can match wits and really surpass many of the people who are out there who think that they got, this content game on lock. It's really crazy to me how, I'm learning so much about being on social media and, you know, what it takes to really be successful at this game. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, and give me a one in the comments if you can hear me okay. Unless you've been living under a rock, I am pretty sure that you've heard about what's going on with these riots in Los Angeles. Now, a lot of things will be said, a lot of things have been said, and I want to make this very clear. We do not on this channel encourage any type of racial discrimination, any type of racially motivated violence. We do not celebrate the unfortunate occurrences that may befall other groups of people. Uh, as African American people or as an African American person, many times we have found ourselves on the victim side of political situations. I invite anybody who may be of any immigrant background in the United States to send me any video clips, even audio of anything that they would like me to look at and would like me to give my perspective on. I had a great experience today with a brother, a Hispanic guy. He sent me a video. He basically asked me, "What do you think about this?" And it was ICE detaining a Hispanic guy in LA. And he was like, "What do you think about this situation? Do you think it's wrong, right?" And I was able to give my honest opinion about the situation and just kind of share some law with that that man and kind of help him understand the perspective from which we are approaching this situation. I love the idea of peaceful protest. I actually put a video on my Instagram story because it seems like they're kind of getting it together down there. And the looting has pretty much subsided. And they were over on the bridge that goes into East LA, and they had a really nice, peaceful march, right? Kind of reminded me of Martin Luther King and the March on Selma. But I said, now this is a peaceful protest that I can get behind because one of the pillars of American civilization is that you have the right to peaceful protest, peaceful assembly. And I have no issue with that. If you don't like what's happening to you, or if you don't like something that is being done to a particular group of people within the United States, you have every right to express your dissatisfaction with that situation. And you have every right to go out publicly and let it be known that you don't like what's going on. But when you start looting, when you start victimizing other Americans who have done nothing to you, that is where we got to draw a line in the sand. And that is where everyone is obligated to come together against those who would like to cause harm to others. One of the people I feel is an absolute perpetuator of so much negativity, whether it be among African American people as a group, whether it be concerning the relationship dynamic between African American people or the descendants of American slaves or African slaves and African immigrants, or even the relationship between African Americans and uh, Latino Americans. One of the worst people who causes the most damage is Tariq Nasheed. The Latino people in Los Angeles, they are aware of this guy. Obviously, the African American people are aware of this guy. And we all see the same thing. He's a hateful person who profits off of stoking division and hatred among African American people and basically any other group of people that we come in contact with who don't immediately bend the knee to Tariq and raise him up as their fearless leader, right? Right now, we have an internal battle going on in the African American community between this online hate group, xenophobic hate group known as FBA, and the African Americans who seek to sow a relationship of unity with Black immigrants, and not only Black immigrants, but really with anyone, any group of Americans that wants to start coming together in the name of our collective progress. See, what people don't understand about Tariq Nasheed is he's one of those people who throws rocks and then he hides his hand. He literally created FBA, which is the xenophobic online hate group. And then when you confront him on the hate group, he says that he's not the leader of the hate group. He literally gave them their name. He literally made the name up as he was stealing people or splitting the ranks of the group we know as ADOS, American Descendants of Slaves, run by Yvette Carnell and Antonio Moore. But this is what Tariq does. He stokes the fire and then he hides. He runs away. He retreats back to his white neighborhood in Chatsworth, California. And then he exercises plausible deniability. Well, I don't know about this. I don't know about that. But then under the cover of darkness, usually at night, he releases videos and conducts live streams where he spews hate-filled rhetoric against anyone who does not fall under the scope of his influence, right? And it really doesn't matter if you're an African American. It doesn't matter if you're a Latino American. It really doesn't matter. But if you dare use the common sense that God gave you to point out the inconsistency, hypocrisy, and the nonsensical nature of the message that Tariq Nasheed conveys and spreads, well, all of a sudden you become enemy number one. And this has not missed the Latino community has not been immune to this, because every single time Tariq has a run-in with the Latino community, it seems like we are always coming out with a larger gap of division between the African American and the Latino Americans. Every time Tariq Nasheed interacts with other groups, he never interacts with them in a brotherly manner or in a peaceful, diplomatic way. Every time he interacts with other groups, he makes sure that when that interaction is over, that group has another reason to hate African Americans. This is what he does. Tariq Nasheed is on a mission to isolate African Americans from every other group in America, because if we are isolated from every other group in America, including but not limited to Black immigrants, that makes us easier prey for Tariq Nasheed to exploit. It makes it easier for him to take advantage of us and swindle and grift us out of our resources while delivering nothing at all. If there's one business that is downtown LA that is safe, it would be Tariq's Hidden Hustle Lounge, because there ain't a damn thing worth of value in that joint. So no one has the need to go in there and loot and pilfer and steal. Before I did this stream, I actually looked at Tariq Nasheed's YouTube channel, and I noticed that this guy does not have a single video pertaining to what's going on downtown LA and now across the country with the immigration riots. Now, one thing we know about Tariq is that if Tariq has the opportunity to capitalize on something, whether that be making a t-shirt or launching a rally or holding a event, Tariq is going to capitalize on it. That's literally what he does. He just looks for very sensitive issues where he sees like a space, the smallest sign of division or the potential for division, and he gets in that space and he starts chipping away at the unity or the collective engagement. He chips away at it until the two groups that are involved are at each other's throat, and then he exits the situation victorious. But does it strike anyone else as odd that Tariq, who's supposed to be the leader of FBA, this guy who I'm gonna show you how to get reparations, he presents himself as this larger than life political figure. Is it a coincidence to you? Because I know it's a coincidence to me that he hasn't spoke on the riots at all. As I scroll down the videos, I see he's back on colonizers. He's talking about a wide-hipped agent. I mean, that must be me. 3 weeks ago, he talked about some meth heads. Now he's talking about Sambos and tethers. Now, I don't know if Tariq has done like live videos on this stuff. I'm not really seeing it. Let me click it. I'm not really seeing anything where Tariq is really, I don't know what's going on with this. Oh, maybe I'm not on his actual page. Oh. Let me see. I don't know if he's done lives on it, but on the lives that I've seen, all he's doing is doing fake. So he's gonna try to do something. Well, he's trying to do something tomorrow morning. But as of late, he's kind of just, he hasn't really done anything on it. He has something coming out tomorrow, but as of today, he doesn't have anything. And a lot of people might be asking, why doesn't Tariq have anything going on concerning these raids, right? Concerning these riots? Well, the answer is simple. Tariq had to see how things played out. so he would know which side of the situation or the argument to come down on. He's nothing but a bamboozling, fence straddling coon, and he wanted to see how this was going to turn out, so he would know which side to back. Right? He's not going to talk about reparations anymore because that's dead in the water. He really has no angle to, attack the Hispanics. So what we know Tariq is going to do is he's been looking for a way to make this about Black or African immigrants. Because when Tariq says immigrant, we know he only means one specific group of immigrants. Tariq has successfully brainwashed these people who call themselves FBA to believe that African immigrants, which make up less than 3% of the population of the United States, are a greater threat to African American people in the United States than white supremacy, Marxism, socialism, and all these other isms that tear at the very fabric of this country and tear at the very fabric of who we are as a people, right? So now he wants to do a show talking about the immigrant issues, why Black Americans are not galvanized around immigrant issues. Well, everyone knows why Black Americans are not galvanized, because Black Americans have been totally focused on reparations, the reparations that you were supposed to show us how to get, Tariq. He says he does have a video here. Should FBA get involved with the ICE raids? Why is that even a question? Why is that even a question? Because nothing FBA does actually benefits FBA. Bro, your job is supposed to lead FBA to the promised land of reparations. At this point, there is nothing that you should even be discussing with FBA other than reparations. I don't know how ICE raids or interfering with ICE raids and involving themselves in riots benefits FBA. But what I know is the thing that you promised to do for FBA, you never did it. You never delivered on it. All you did was use it to exploit FBA for money. And while you got richer, FBA became more desperate. That's what's going on. And now, amid so much going on in the world, what does Tariq Nasheed do? He runs and hides. He runs and hides until he sees whether or not the coast is clear. And as everything is coming to an end, he creeps out of the shadows and tries to run propaganda to see how much money he can get out of the situation. I'm telling you, if you're like Daniel Beverly and you're following this idiot, you are a new fool. You are a new fool. This guy literally is giving you no direction at all when it actually matters. He could pump you up to go attack a Black immigrant. He could pump you up to go get on a plane to fly to some bullcrap event that he's throwing. He could pump you up to donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to his bullcrap pseudo-historical documentaries. He can pump you up to send him millions of dollars over the internet. But for some reason, he can never give you true direction. I would challenge anyone who is a follower of Tariq Nasheed to come up here and tell me what directive or what direction has Tariq Nasheed given you concerning the next 6 months of FBA's operations. What direction is FBA going in? Since we know that the idea of reparations is pretty much off the table, in what way has FBA regrouped so that they can pivot to another cause or find a way? Have they strategized to find another angle from which to approach the pursuit of reparations from? No. It's like, look, guys, I'm gonna get you all pumped up. I'm gonna promise you the world, and then when I can't deliver it, I'm gonna just talk you down with jokes. Actors calling into my show, pretending to be Africans and saying random, outlandish stuff for shock value to take your mind off of the fact that you've basically, at this point, wasted 7 years of your life following this idiot to places that he promised to, following this idiot, but never being led to the places that he promised to take you. Like, I'm just being real right now. You've wasted 7 years of your life following this moron, thinking that he was somehow going to help you secure reparations. And in 2025, on what many people believe is the cusp of World War III, you haven't received a penny. You haven't even received a book of food stamps worth of reparations in the form of cash payments for the descendants of American slaves. I'm literally going crazy right now because it's like, when are these FBA idiots going to wake up? When the first nuke hits? Is that when you guys are going to wake up and say, wait a minute, maybe Tariq lied to us? Let me know. Somebody said react to No Jumper dissing me today. I didn't know No Jumper dissed me today. If they diss me today, tell me how they diss me. Maybe I'll react to it. But yeah, this guy hasn't led you anywhere but to the bank, to your ATM, so you can withdraw money and put it directly in his pocket. And people like Daniel Beverly know that this is facts. They know that they've been had, they've been hoodwinked, they've been bamboozled. That's why he's over here now. He's like, you know what? Tariq played me. So let me go see what the opposition is talking about. Tariq is just a jealous little bitch, for lack of a better word. He's mad because I'm on No Jumper. He tried his best to go crazy on X, hoping that someone would pay attention to his goofy ass so maybe he could get invited back to No Jumper. But no one's paying attention to him because within 5 minutes of meeting him, everybody with a brain in their head can realize this dude is full of shit. He is nothing but a con artist and a grifter. He tries so bad to get on the Bucci bus. He tried so bad to get on the Bucci bus so he could worm his way into No Jumper. My question is this, Tariq, you're supposed to be a movie director. You're supposed to be a documentarian. You're supposed to be a filmmaker. You're supposed to be an actor. Why don't you have a production house as big or equal to or bigger than No Jumper? That's my question. Bro, Tariq been in LA like 40 years. He's much older than Adam 22. Adam is not like no genius or nothing like that. He doesn't have a huge history. He rode BMX bikes. And he's doing more production, employing more African Americans, feeding more families through the creation of content than Tariq Nasheed could ever hope to, than he could ever dream to. Because the benefit or the exchange of resources when it comes to anyone who's in a relationship with Tariq, whether it be his audience or his friends or his business partners, is always one-sided. Much in the way that he says Pan-Africanism is one-sided, Well, any relationship with Tariq Nasheed is one-sided because he always benefits, he gets everything, and you get nothing. He walks away with a big bag, and you walk away with nothing. And he'll sit up and call somebody like Adam 22 a colonizer. He'll sit up and call somebody like Adam 22 a suspected white supremacist. Bro, Adam 22 is doing way more for people who look like you than you've ever done. All Tariq has ever done is steal from you. All he's ever done is pump you up, put a battery in your back so you go around alienating other people who can help you. So you would be alone, desperate, and pathetic. So he could walk in and take advantage of you, take what little you got left, and then clown your ass for being broke. That's it. That's it. Literally just a grifter who's all in it for himself. Afraid to really talk about the situation because if we know anything about Tariq, you already know he's scared of Mexicans. We already knew that. We learned that with the American Cholo situation. You remember that? Remember when Tariq got punked out by American Cholo? I bet y'all don't remember that, huh? It's so bad. Tariq is so MIA. They literally think that I'm someone who's down with Tariq because ain't nobody heard from this dude. This dude then went totally MIA during one of the most tense times in the history of Los Angeles County because he's scared. He's scared. And I have a message for all of you FBA fanatics. If there's one thing I could tell you about Tariq Nasheed, it's that he will never be there when you need him. He will never be there when you need him. He will always flee. That's his word. He will always flee when you need him most. He will never show up for you. He will never fight for you. He will never defend you. And worst of all, nothing he ever does will be done in the interest of benefiting you. It will always be for his own gain, and you will always come down on the short end of the stick. With your pockets significantly lighter, with your reputation irreparably damaged, feeling dazed, confused, and deflated when you deal with Tariq. I'm really asking y'all, where is this dude? Somebody said, well, he already spoke on it. One video? This has been going on for a week. One video. One video. That's it. Come on, y'all. Alan said he'll defend you, but you'll wish he didn't based on his debates. I told you guys a long time ago, Tariq is a clown. He's a fraud. 100%. Tariq can't even beat. Bro, I recently debated a white supremacist, wiped the floor with his ass, and it wasn't even close. You guys say, Brandon, you a coon, you hate black people, yada, yada, yada. I went up against a white supremacist and wiped the floor with his ass. Right? Tariq went up against a white supremacist, and by the end of the damn debate, he was calling Jared Taylor daddy. Got cooked. But he's supposed to be the guy who's leading you into battle against the suspected white supremacist. That's the crazy part. That's the craziest thing about this. This guy is supposed to be the one leading you into battle against the suspected white supremacists, but can't even win what should have been an easy debate against a white supremacist. Okay. Shout out to American Cholo. He must be checking this out. But yeah, he can't do anything for you. And I'm telling you, don't let these YouTube and social media views and subscribers fool you. The people who got the most views ain't necessarily the people who the best at speaking up for the people. The people who got the most views are not necessarily the most knowledgeable people on these situations. The people who got the most views and subscribers are the people who can produce enough shock content to make people say, oh man, this is crazy. Let me click this video. And get you addicted to that like shock content. So you want to come back every single day and watch it. By the way, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. We just hit 20,000 subscribers. I'm just on a mission for like 50,000 subscribers this year. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Let people know we are over here talking about the topics that they need to know about. We are also going to talk about the Iran-Israel conflict. I know a bunch of you guys have been seeing that. A bunch of people are probably scared. We're going to get to the bottom of that situation, and we're going to answer a question. Is this the beginning of World War III? Right? Oh, yeah, Ruben Gutierrez, 100%. That's all they do. All they do is misinform people and bring confusion to the game. 1,000%. 1,000%. These people are nothing but grifters. I'm telling you guys, the minute YouTube stops paying ad revenue, these guys will disappear. They will disappear into the ether, dude. They're up here for one reason. And the more that I'm in contact with these bigger channels, the more I'm learning, man. A lot of people ain't in this because they real and they really care about the people. They up here trying to resurrect their damn dying careers and channels. I saw those black rappers and stuff down there at the protests and stuff. Those dudes couldn't give a damn about that protest. They're trying to resurrect their dying rap careers. That's it. They're like, ooh, this is a big event. Let me go down here so people will see me. And they'll say, let me go listen to his music because the shit been trashed for years, but he showed solidarity. You guys deserve better than that. Whether you're black, Mexican, white, Asian, African, you deserve better than that. Every other day it's been lately, but I'm going to try to make it every day. I'm going to do a call-in show right here where you can call in. Hey, you might just want to vent. You might have just had a fucked up day. You might just need to get something off of your chest. Or you might have seen something online that sparked your interest. Or I might have said something on a larger platform that pissed you off or that you agree with. I want to create a space where you have contact with me. Because the true way that you're going to know whether somebody is really messing with you, whether someone's really riding with you, is how much access they give you. This is a call-in show for sure. I'm going to put the link in the comments in a second. You only know that someone's really riding with you if they give you access to them. And there's been people who came up here who didn't agree with me. I don't shy away from topics. I just had some dudes hit me up about some stuff that they didn't like that I said. I said, okay, y'all, I'm going to see y'all tomorrow. I'm going to come up there, y'all. We talk about it. That's one thing about me. I don't throw rocks and hide my hand. I'm not going to say anything about someone that I am not willing to sit across the table from. Because where I'm from, that's just something you don't do. You don't talk about a man unless you can go in real life and look that man in the eye and give that man the opportunity, not through just phone screens and laptops, but face to face. The least you can do is give that man a face-to-face meeting to let you know how you've offended him. And only then can you say, you know what? Let's make amends. My bad, bro. I didn't mean it like that. or hey, I still stand on what I'm saying, but if it offended you, I do apologize. That wasn't my intention. We got to get back to the real. Because in the days of AI and all this nonsense, no one knows what is true, what's false, what's real, what's fake. The one thing that will never be able to be faked is human interaction. We got to get back to the old days, and we got to get back to the old ways. I am not above anyone. That's why you see me. I'm in the street. I'm walking around. People, hey, Brandon, what's up? I'm okay with that. As long as everyone knows, listen, before you do anything crazy, just talk to me. If you can't, you live far and you don't have the ability to meet me in person, dude, get up here. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to express congratulatory sentiments or maybe some gripes that you have about something that I've said or done. I'm over here talking to people on Instagram. I don't have to answer those damn messages. But look, I don't want to be the guy who talks about people, talks about situations that have a very real impact on people's lives and then say, well, I'm just not even going to let you get, be in a position to even say anything to me. So I'm walking around thinking I'm right, like I'm all high and mighty. Now, we're not going to do that. We don't do that over here. And I've never done that. And it's probably hurt my channel. People say, oh, make short videos. People don't like live streams. I like live streams. I like to let people have access to me and give input on what I'm doing. Some people don't like that. Well, I do. And it's not about what other people like. It's about what I like. That's it. Now, if you guys have something you want to, an idea or something you want to add about this Tariq Nasheed situation, how he's proving himself to be an absolute coward after presenting himself as a leader of the Black community, I'll give you the link right now, and you can come up here and let me know how you feel. And once I let you guys express your opinions and thoughts and ideas, then we're going to get into this Israel versus Iran situation and whether or not this is the beginning of World War III, or are you being fear-mongered? Is there someone who's benefiting from scaring you or terrifying you about what's developing in the Middle East? What up, Daniel Beverly?
What's up, Bucci?
What up? What up?
Oh, okay. I didn't know you was opening the floor yet.
What up, you elderly Negro?
Hey, look, man, you in rare form tonight, boy. You find a way to make everything about Tariq.
That's right, yo, daddy.
Global warming is Tariq's fault.
that Jerry Curly rocket. The man units.
Here's my thing.
The glue from those man units is destroying the environment.
Okay, but here's my thing. Y'all can feel good about talking about Tariq and FBA.
We feel great,
but still not gonna stop your ass from getting deported. To all them people in the comment section, just giggling and talking about Tariq. When ICE come knock on that door, Bucci can't save you. See, Bucci can talk that because he's FBA for real. He just in denial. But y'all, hey, get ready. Get your flip-flops ready. Because you'll be back home soon in your little village.
You know what? I think that the immigrants are going to be fine. I
hope they are. I don't care either way. It's just not my problem. And you keep talking about why is Tariq. Tariq has spoke on it, but at the end of the day, we don't really give a shit.
New this morning is...
You care. Stop lying.
Why would I care?
All FBA do is FBA love laying up with white women, Hispanic women, Asian women. Y'all gonna be the main ones crying. Stop lying.
Steph will be here to swap.
Whoa, I just heard somebody who sounded like an immigrant in your background. Oh, damn, this dude has been exposed. Was that a Jamaican accent?
No.
Yes, it was.
That's a Maryland.
I heard somebody say jerk chicken.
No, that was a regular chick. But either way,
that was a regular chicken?
I said that was a regular chick, but a regular FBA chick. But either way, if it was, I don't have no problem with Jamaican chicks. My son is in Mexico right now. I
Of
don't have no
course he
problem.
is. That's all FBA love doing.
Yeah, we like to.
Y'all
we
love
love-
hanging around with
Yeah.
these people, and then when y'all get on the internet, y'all turn into xenophobes.
No, but what we do is we take our ass back home. We don't come and just stay for decades and forget about our grandma.
Your home is Africa.
I don't forget about
Your
our
home
grandma
is Africa.
washing her drawers in the Makoko River. Y'all, they'll just forget about their people and have all type of kids still there. See, we don't do that. We go have fun with their women and come on back.
You a liar, man. FBA love going to live in Mexico City. It's a bunch of y'all over there right now.
We go over there and chill, and we come.
No,
on back.
y'all get remote IT jobs and move y'all ass to Tulum, Mexico City, Rosarito Beach. Stop lying, Daniel. You're a liar.
Not like they do.
Nah,
Not
FBA
in
is the
large
main
numbers.
one.
Not in
I
large
could
numbers.
pull up 100 videos right now.
You get a few expats. I know a couple people too. You get a few
Not
expats
a couple.
to go
It's thousands. It's thousands.
But one thing we don't do is go over there illegally.
No, you guys flee. You guys flee America.
No, what we do is
racism.
what we do is we get our paperwork straight.
FBA flees America.
And we go about it
all
the right
looking
way.
for IT jobs right now, so y'all could get remote work. Y'all could flee America, run to Colombia, run to Mexico City, run to all the countries where the people who are immigrating here are from, and then talk about y'all getting deported.
What we don't do is swim over. See, it's the problem when you swim over.
Who's swimming over?
Who you think trying to swim over undetected?
That's because Negroes can't swim. That ain't because y'all won't do it. Y'all can't do it.
No, we go over with passports.
Lying
and we get our documentation.
Man, only 7% of FBA has passports. Stop lying.
And most of the
only 7% of African Americans even have passports. So 93% of y'all is.
My kids got theirs.
7% of FBA got passports, bro.
You literally just made that up. But
no, I didn't. And listen, and it's not that y'all won't flee. Y'all can't flee because most of y'all got child support arrears and can't get a passport to get out the country.
So what?
Let's stop acting like it's by choice.
What do Latinos
please.
have?
Huh?
So what do Latinos have?
I don't know. I don't be in Latinos business. See how FBA be like, everybody needs to have FBA business, but it's really FBA who be in everybody else's business.
No, they trying to pull us in their business. Why aren't black people supporting? Why aren't black people? Why don't they ask white people to do it?
Well, y'all didn't jump y'all ass out there as the vanguard of freaking civil rights.
Always. So we done enough.
You know, y'all scared now.
We done enough. You're welcome.
Y'all scared now.
It's your time.
Who's y'all?
I'm talking about the people you keep trying to represent them. You're the voice of the.
I'm not representing anyone. I'm telling the truth about FBA.
Yes, and we fought for civil rights.
Oh yeah, Hamza Ali. I'm gonna need you to stop with the stolen land because then nobody steal nothing.
We fought for civil rights already, right?
Hey, explain. Okay, do me a favor, Mr. FBA. You're foundational Black American. We was already here. All that. Can you explain to Hamza, our Middle Eastern brother, our Habibi, as we can call him? Can you explain to him how California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas? Could you explain to him how all this came to be under the control of the United States of America? Do you know that history?
Well, for one, they lost wars, and then two, we purchased a lot of that land.
Okay, so you know a thing or two. Okay. Well, okay. So
now, what I'm trying to remember though is all the times that Mexicans fought for us. Remember those times?
They never did.
Exactly.
I think Mexico allowed escaped slaves to go into Mexico, and they would not extradite them from Mexico back into the United States.
And they treat them like shit.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
Look it up. They treat.
I don't know if that's
black
true.
Mexicans like shit over there.
Okay, let me tell you this first. Let me tell you guys the truth. Okay, because you know what I'm learning. More and more, I'm learning that a lot of people from these places don't really have an education about these places and the history of how things became the way that they are, got the way that they are. Okay. So in California, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, all these states, before the United States was ever even thought of, before Mexico was ever even thought of, these places were inhabited by indigenous Indian tribes, indigenous Native American tribes, all throughout California, Arizona, Texas, all those places, right? Okay. So a long time ago, I think about 1300 AD. Bear with me. I know y'all like, we don't want to learn, but this will help you. This is giving you perspective on what's going on right now. In 1300 AD, the Aztecs entered into the Valley of Mexico. Before they entered the Valley of Mexico, the Aztecs were a wandering tribe of nomads who had no home. One of their medicine men or witch doctors, or what they called a shaman, told them that they had to wander through South America until they saw an eagle that was standing on top of a cactus leaf. Okay? Understand that. Until they found an eagle that was perched on top of a cactus leaf. You might be thinking, where do I know that image from? Well, that's the image that's on the Mexican flag. That comes from ancient Aztec history, where their shaman told them they would know that they reached the land that is to be their home when they saw an eagle standing on top of a cactus leaf. Here's the issue. There were already people there. So the Aztecs were colonizers because they wiped out the indigenous people who lived there. Well, they wiped out a bunch of them, right? And they sacrificed them to their gods. They enslaved a bunch of them, and they built what we came to call the Aztec Empire. Even after the Aztec Empire was built, there were still indigenous tribes that lived in that area who were basically like oppressed by the Aztecs. Later on, the Spanish came, led by Cortez. The Spanish end up whooping up on the Aztecs. They took over that area known as Mexico. I think they called it like New Spain or something like that. Eventually, there was like a revolt. The people who were not yet Mexicans, they drove the Spanish out. But by the time they drove the Spanish out, guess what? Many of the people who were indigenous to that area, or the Aztec colonizers, they were now mixed with Spanish. They had a large amount, their population had a huge amount of European blood, Spanish blood. Later on, Mexico was conquered by the French, right? The French, I think the emperor, I think his name was Maximilian. He was the emperor of Mexico for several years until he was eventually overthrown in a revolution and he was killed. Okay, so once the people overthrew Maximilian, that is when they went about going into California, Arizona, New Mexico, these places, and they killed and exterminated. Well, Spain did that first. They went and killed and exterminated a lot of the indigenous in like California, New Mexico, Arizona, and stuff. But when the French were driven out, and then when the Spanish were driven out, and then the French were driven out, well, the Mexican government continued to slaughter indigenous people in these places that you guys are saying, well, this was Mexico and we were always here. No, you weren't always there. The Mexican government controlled those territories for 25 years. That's it. Once the French left, the Mexican government controlled those areas for 25 years. Well, whatever Maximilian was. They controlled that area for 25 years only before they went to war with America, the Mexican-American War. America defeated them, and then Mexico sold those territories for $25 million. So what I don't understand is how y'all keep saying this was Mexico and we had this first when y'all only held it. It was conquered land, right? It was not indigenous land. It was conquered land. You guys stole it from someone. And then you only held it for 25 years. And then someone came, beat you out of it. And then you actually was like, well, let us get some money for it. And they gave you $25 million. I really think that if you look at the history, right? You would really, it might be enough to kind of like at least start a conversation about this claim that these people feel they have to these territories. And even to this day, Mexico is dealing with a lot of land disputes with indigenous populations over land that Mexico stole from the indigenous people of the Mexico Valley. So I just don't understand how it's like, yo, we want justice for this, this, and this, while we're committing injustice against other groups within our national borders. I don't get that.
Can I say something?
And I'm about to put the link in because I'm sure there's some Hispanic people in here who could give us even more insight about this. Go ahead, Daniel.
What I don't understand is, how can you be over here flying your flag from a homeland that you fled from? If you're so proud, just go back.
Well,
nobody's stopping you.
Well, you can be proud of your heritage,
right?
Because that's what Pan Africans do,
but
right?
Don't fly
proud of our heritage.
But don't fly it here.
Why not?
If you want to be a citizen here,
this is America.
The Irish don't want to leave.
No, the Irish can fly their flag. All these people fly their flag. We're not going to just pick on the Hispanics. I mean, why not? They can fly their flag if they want to.
They're flying their flag in protest. Irish fly their flag at a boxing match. They're flying their flag in protest. And what I'm saying is, why don't you? Nobody is forcing you to deal with the situation over here if it's so bad.
Well, I think that people can come together based on a shared ethnicity. Isn't that exactly what FBA is doing? FBA has a flag. FBA flies it in solidarity with each other based on lineage. You're a hypocrite, Daniel.
No, I'm not. We keep trying to tell y'all that the FBA.
No, you're a hypocrite because you
FBA
do exactly what they do.
No, we not. We chilling. What you talking about? We good.
Oh, I'm not going to argue that the Hispanics were here. Actually, Ruben Gutierrez, can you really say that the Hispanics were here before the white man when the Hispanics literally are a creation of the white man? Literally, the term Hispanic, it signifies a mixture of indigenous with Spanish. Spanish are Europeans. You can't say, hey, I'm Mexican and I was here before the white man. No, actually, you weren't even, it wasn't even possible for you to be here until the white man came here. Am I wrong? I'll wait. Don't say that. Hispanics were here before the white man. No. Indigenous people were here before the white man.
Brandon, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
You're in California. In the prison system, who do Mexicans align themselves with?
Huh?
Who do Mexicans in the California prison system align themselves with?
Other Mexicans.
And the Aryan nation.
And white people, yeah.
So why aren't they asking their Aryan brothers to step up and support them?
Well, they are. They're trying. And I feel like white people are supporting them.
Well, they cool then.
Most of these white Democrats are supporting them.
They're good then. I don't need to see no more videos about why FBA not supporting.
My biggest thing is I have no issue with my Hispanic brothers and sisters protesting for what they feel is right. The only issue I have is with anyone who feels like because they feel upset about something, they have the right to destroy other people's stuff. And I'm going to, and you know what? Look, so I was sitting in the drive-thru of Starbucks today getting a coffee, right? And I was looking at these houses that were parked across the street from Starbucks. And I said, you know what's crazy? What's crazy is the idea that somebody believes that because they are unhappy with something that is going on, that gives them the right to destroy someone else's property, right? Or someone else's business. Now, Daniel, do you remember? And guys, the link is in the comments. I need my Hispanic people up here. Don't say y'all just talk about us. I'm giving y'all the link. Come on up. Now, do you remember in the past years, recent years, do you remember the class action lawsuit against Roundup, the weed killing spray?
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, so there recently was a class action lawsuit against Roundup. The government basically found out that there were chemicals in Roundup that caused cancer, right? So there was this huge settlement. Roundup was sued by all these families, right? And they had to pay all this money. Hold on. I want to be accurate. Okay. So basically, Bayer, which is the company that owns Roundup, literally had to pay families billions of dollars because they found out that Roundup contained a chemical called glyphosate. It caused cancer. It caused non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, right? So Bayer had to pay these families all these billions, right? So we know this for a fact. Roundup was giving people cancer. Now, imagine if this is the equivalent to what's going on in these riots. My daughter got cancer because I was using Roundup to kill weeds on my lawn, right? So anytime I see someone using Roundup, whether I know them or not, I feel like I have the right to go and burn a house down. Does that make sense to you, Daniel?
No.
Right. That's literally what's going on downtown LA. You are deporting people who I am related to or who I have an ethnic connection to. So because these people are being deported, right? I feel like I have the right to go destroy someone else's business who has absolutely nothing to do with the deportations. I mean, literally in Los Angeles, it don't get no bluer than LA, right? So that would mean that they supported the person who wanted to allow immigrants into the country unvetted, the person who wanted to do amnesty and give all these people citizenship was Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris won California by like 30 points. It wasn't even close. Daniel, if you were going to do something to hurt someone over immigration, do you think California is the place where you should start burning businesses? Or do you think some red state should have been the place you started burning businesses?
No, of course not. But also, too, if you're illegal, you have no right.
No.
It's like a drug dealer.
No, we're not arguing that. We're not arguing
somebody.
What I'm saying is, how do you justify destroying the business of someone who supports you because you're angry at someone who doesn't support you? Like this person punched me in the face. This other person bandaged up my wounds, but I'm going to punch them. I'm going to beat them up. They helping me.
They have no justification. They have no justification for being here. So it's like I said, it's like a drug dealer getting caught and then reporting that somebody stole his stash. Nah, it don't work like that.
I want to show you guys this. These protesters, right? Hold on. It's a video where you have a bunch of immigrant protesters, right? And they are literally outside the door of a 7-Eleven, which is owned by Indian immigrants. The Indian immigrants are literally holding the door to their 7-Eleven because the immigrant protesters want to go in their 7-Eleven and raid the 7-Eleven. Here you go, right here. I found it. Look at God.
A video from Los Angeles is
so
going
crazy.
viral online, and it shows something very unexpected during the ongoing protest. In the middle of a loud and angry crowd protesting against ICE, a group of Indians and South Asian men are seen trying to protect a small 7-Eleven store from being damaged. The clip shows them standing at the store's entrance, trying really hard to keep the doors closed as protesters push against them from outside. Well, this moment has sparked a lot of discussion on social media. Many people noticed how these Indian men, likely immigrant themselves, were trying to stop the store, probably run by the immigrants, being attacked during the protest meant to support immigrant rights. It created a sharp contrast. Protesters shouting against immigration enforcement, while legal immigrants were struggling to protect their livelihoods from being destroyed. The video was first posted on TikTok and later spread widely on X with captions like ICE protesters versus 7-Eleven.
I can't understand a word that lady is saying, but the thing here's what I'm saying. You have a group of Hispanic protesters, right? Attempting to break in. Now, these are immigrants, right? We assume they're immigrants trying to break into. They not at the white person business. They not at Famous Dave's, Dave and Buster's, Lucille's, or the Yard House or nothing like that. Some stuff white folks own. They are at an Indian immigrant-owned business, attempting to destroy their business because they're mad at the white man for deporting them. Y'all,
Savages.
stop it. We listen. You can't make this up. We're not gonna name call. But what I'm just saying, because black folks was doing the same shit. Stop, Daniel. You know,
Not about us.
You
Not
know,
about us.
but you know, we was out here just as ignorant in the Black Lives Matter stuff.
Nope, savages.
Stop it. But listen, guys, what Daniel says does not speak for the sentiments of this channel. But what I'm gonna say, is you're fighting against the wrong people. Do you really think those Indians were like, yeah, we support Trump? They hate Trump because Trump was the one who got rid of all the HB1 visas. They hate Trump. They support you. They hire you in their business. And you're going to destroy their business when you're supposed to be going to destroy the businesses of the people who are actually committing the offense against you. This is really all I've been saying this whole time. This has been my argument since the beginning, right?
Well, the final thing I want to say, because my Jamaican side chick is calling me.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to get off of here.
Wow.
But the last thing I want to say is you can't get mad at us because we have rules and order. Without rules and order, you have chaos like the homeland you fled from. So we have to have rules here. And I land my plane.
Thank you so much, Dan. Now look at this, y'all. This is an Indian-owned business. I mean, I know y'all. They kept saying it was black people doing this. It's black people. It's black people. I don't see nobody black, but as I say that, I see a Negro right there. He needs his ass whooped. He needs his ass whooped, right? But what I'm seeing mostly is Hispanic people, which is crazy. But why are the people protesting on behalf of immigrants? Why are they vandalizing the businesses of other immigrants? That's all I'm asking. Literally all I'm asking. Now they have Pacifico. If you know, you know. But yeah. This is all I'm saying. I'm not hating on you. I'm not trying to be racist towards you. None of those things, right? I think, Mike D, I think in this particular instance, it's primarily Hispanics in LA. I think right now it's primarily Hispanics in LA. Of course, there's some black people. We love looting. Black people love looting and stealing and trying to get free stuff. But just by the beer they're grabbing and by their faces. This is mostly Hispanics right here. I'm not trying to like unfairly target them, but as this camera pans from side to side, you can clearly see these are Hispanic people. These are clearly Hispanic people. Even if you, I don't know if I could do a freeze frame or whatever, but they're gonna come back this way, and they're these are Hispanic people. Right there, those are all Hispanic people. I saw the one black dude, but if you look right here, these are Hispanic chicks. This black dude, I see one black dude, this guy. But if you look all around this dude, if you look all around this guy, these are all Hispanics. See, that black dude, yes. But that's literally the only black face I see. But of course, all groups are participating in it. Radical Latino, my brother, what is up?
Yo, what's going on, bro? How's everything?
Yo, what he do look like ODM Slim for real. What's up, bro? How you doing out there in New York?
Chilling, chilling, chilling. You know, there's gonna be protests over here, then, right?
Yeah, tomorrow, right?
Yeah, something like that. Oh, by the way, can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna just give you my thoughts right quick. First of all, you're 100% right. They shouldn't be burning these things down. I've seen some videos where there's actually undercover cops, inciting some of these violent encounters and all that. At the end of the day, I don't agree with the violence whatsoever. I voted for Trump, as you know. We needed, the immigration problem to be dealt with. But now that these individuals are going off and protesting, yeah, I totally understand, certain people shouldn't be getting wound up or whatever the case is. But at the end of the day, these are all criminals. We got to take care of home first. You feel what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And the last thing we need, the main reason why they even immigrated was because their land, our homeland, is a lawless type of land. You could bribe people and all that other stuff. You can't do that here. So
Right.
in order to check the seriousness of it, we had to do what we had to do, and I'm glad that Trump is doubling down and doing exactly what he needs to do. Now, I don't know if you heard about the sheriff in Florida and his statements. Yo, his
Yeah.
statements is wild. His
He
statements
told
is
them
wild. I don't know. I don't
he
know if you
told them
want
to
to
run
play
those
it.
people over if they block the road.
Yeah, pretty much. He was like, "Yo, you're gonna get killed." You know what I'm saying? So, like the way I see it, shout out to them. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it's unfortunate. Titis and abuelitas are getting round up. Yeah, okay, that shouldn't happen. But at the end of the day, the majority of it, are all criminals. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? It's kind of like if you put limits for people, um, they know what to do. Because I watched a video where they literally blocked the road, but as soon as that light turned green, those motherfuckers all moved out of the way. They were, they knew how far to go. And that's what I feel. I feel like in places like Florida, they have leadership that sets boundaries for people. In California, they're so desperate to get back into power, the Democrats. They're willing to let California burn because they think, well, if we let California burn, there's no way someone's going to vote Republican
Yeah,
at the time. But they're so stupid.
it's something that you alluded to a long time ago. I don't know if you remember this, but I 100% agree with you. The Democratic Party has lost the connection to Black folks. They have lost the connection to the Latinos. They have lost the connection to the common sense. They're too focused on the LGBT BS. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And because of that, that's the main reason why they lost. Let's keep it 1,000. Now they're trying to double down and fund all this other, like the protest that's happening tomorrow. It's not funded by Latinos whatsoever. It's funded by a white woman that's part of the Walmart.
Yeah,
You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying?
And let me correct
Go ahead,
this
go ahead, go ahead.
let me correct this misinformation. So you got somebody here, I can't see his photo. 300 years Spain owned Mexicans land. That's a lie because Mexico ain't even been around for 300 years. So what are you talking about? You're an absolute moron.
The Spanish first they first
Took the
encountered
Aztecs.
the
Yeah.
Chilis. They went to Dominican Republic first, the Caribbean islands, and then took everything else over after they found gold. But yeah, Mexico was way later on. It had nothing to do with that.
And people don't understand what you know now today as a modern day Mexican came from Spanish people mixing with indigenous people. So if you look at
Exactly. That's
Mexican,
the reason why mestizo is the word it is. Mestizo is mixed. In other words, it has other connotations to it, but it pretty much boils down to mixed.
yeah, how can the Spanish occupy the land of their own offspring? See, people don't think. They just say it because it sounds good. Mexicans are the offspring of Spanish people. If you
You
watch
want to hear the code?
Telemundo,
You want to hear the code? You want to hear the cold part about it too?
go ahead.
Them Spaniard babies that were given by indigenous or African enslaved women. Them babies actually had Spanish authority, so they
Mm,
became the overseers. Some of them did, not all. They became the overseers for some of these plantations. Crazy thing is, that power didn't translate when they went back to Spain. When they went back to Spain, they were pretty much an ordinary individual.
right, right. So this is what I'm saying. Like 300 years, Spain owned Mexicans' land. No, buddy, Spain is the reason why there was a such thing called a mestizo or a Mexican. That was indigenous land that Spain took over. Then they mixed with the indigenous population. That's how Mexicans got created. And then Mexicans, once Spain was driven out, the Mexicans, their offspring, they continued to slaughter the indigenous population of those lands. And some people argue that even to this day, Mexico is engaging in the extermination of indigenous populations.
Well, like some of I think the Spaniards, they were mixing so much that they had to make make up name for races based on color. So the
Right,
more darker you are, you were negro, mixed, light brown, you were mestizo, so on and so forth. To the
right,
point where certain Latin American countries still adopt that type of identification in ID cards and birth certificates. So based on your
right.
color, they're gonna designate you, that descriptor. Again, it's not a racist thing. It's just something that they've never gotten out of. It's tradition by this point. You know,
Right. And honestly, I'm putting the link to call in the comments, Christopher. And so when you say stuff like how Hamza says these European pilgrims come here on a genocide land grab mission, the church made trillions in today's money from this terror. Yes, but understand something. The Mexicans are also the descendants of Spanish colonizers who came through South America and wreaked havoc on those indigenous peoples of that land.
there
So
was a
you
lot of Mexicans that actually, did the bidding for the Spaniards, due to the fact that they had what you call it, nobility, due to the fact that they had Spanish blood in them.
right.
So it's a bitter pill to swallow. A lot of liberal, I'm gonna say Chicanos don't like to talk about that because it kind of puts them in the same boat as the white supremacists. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing. If you go to Mexico, the lighter your skin is, the more society looks at like they look at you as better. Like this is not nothing new. Like if you look on the novellas in the Telemundo, they got blonde hair, blue eye Mexicans on that primarily.
No, that's a
It's
fact.
in recent
That's a fact.
years they started allowing the darker skin and the darker hair and
Yeah,
darker eye color to be on movies and stuff. Before it was straight blonde hair, blue eye. They look like white people.
yeah, and again, they were. This is not something new. Obviously this has been happening, but let's be honest, they were also depicting it and trying to copy American style of beauty, like the beauty standard, and
Mhm.
the whiter, the better, and all this other stuff. So No, no, you're absolutely right. They completely neglected the darker skinned, Latinos. And if they did depict them, they were in servant roles. Like the maids, the chauffeur, the garbage man. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. Right. Much like the blacks are depicted in America. You're a mammy, you're a nanny, you're a maid. That's the only role you can play. Cause bro, I thought this stuff was common knowledge.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand it or don't know it. Latino history is not like surface level. It goes a little deep. It has a lot of intertwining history with Black American history. Not so much, but it has a little bits of it. You know what I mean? Because let's be honest, the French and the Spaniards kind of did take over and enslave majority of Africans as well. You know what I'm saying? They kind of like invented the whole international slave trade thing.
No, 100%. 100%. And I want to share this picture with you. Um, look at these people. This is in Mexico, though. They have a certain look that is preferred. If you look like Ricky Martin, they fucking with you. If you look like Enrique Iglesias, not so much. Right? Like, I'm just being real with you. They have a certain look, a certain skin
And
tone.
that's a fact. And I have to be very honest also. In Latin America, it's very pronounced. But let's be honest also. It's pronounced. It's not that pronounced, but it's the white standard of beauty and the prefer for whiteness is everywhere. Here in America, outside of America, in China, in Russia, you know what I'm saying? But it depends on where you go that you'll be more pronounced and more in your face. In Latin America, for the most part, it's most in your face. Go to Argentina, they'll let you know straight up. Yeah, we don't know like darkies. You know what I'm saying? They'll let you know.
No, 100%. Guys, do you know like Cameron Diaz is Latina?
Facts. And she
She,
likes to she likes to hide that fact too. It's really
yeah,
weird. It's really
like,
weird.
and if you look like her over there, you're basically like worshipped. They're
Yeah,
like blonde
Jessica,
hair.
Jessica Alba's also Latina too, and a lot of
Yep,
people didn't know that until she actually said she's like half Mexican or something.
100%. Literally, if you really pay attention to like Hollywood and stuff, if you pay attention to like the novellas, Telemundo, it was just recent. I forgot that lady's name. She's a dark skinned South American lady. She blew up out of nowhere. But like she was like the first dark skinned star, female
Celia
star.
Cruz, Celia
What's
Cruz,
what's her name?
Celia Cruz. Is that what you're talking about? She's the
How do you
singer.
spell her name?
Celia Cruz. I can. I'm dyslexic, bro. I don't know. Hold on, I got Google on me. Give me a minute.
Is Celia Cruz?
Yeah, that's how. Yeah, hold on. Let me see. Uh, yeah, Cruz. Oh, there you go. Celia Cruz. Is that
C
the
E.
one? C
It's
E
another
L.
that's real dark. But yeah,
Yeah,
this is another.
CELI. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that who you're referring to?
No, this is an older lady. There's a newer chick. She's bad. She's bomb as hell. She dark too. I forgot her name, man.
Amara La Negra. Is that the one with the afro?
Yeah, that's the one. What's her name?
Amara La Negra.
Okay, got her. Boom. This one. Man, I remember this girl won an award or something. She was crying up there talking about how it's so hard for you to get any type of recognition in any type of acting or singing or anything in Latin America if you're dark skinned. This woman was crying real tears, bro. She was just like, people don't understand. Like, it's hard in
No,
America, but y'all have.
she's right. But you want to hear the funny thing is, if you translate majority of our love songs, majority of the Spanish and bachata and everything else, majority of the love songs are talking about black women. It's very
Oh,
interesting. Yeah, like even Zelda Cruz, the one that I told that we mistake her for.
yeah.
She has one talking about la negra la tiene tumbado. Basically, the black girl has it going on.
Okay.
So there's a lot of love songs that we dance to that we kind of somewhat promote, and it's like classic love songs that do talk about black women that have it going on, la negrita, with the tanned woman and all that other stuff. So it's very we do it. We say it's like a double-edged sword. We're very hypocritical. So we celebrate love songs, but we practice something else. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. And when I first saw this lady, man, I was really on some like, how could anybody not think this woman is just amazingly beautiful? And it was like, people will agree she's very beautiful, but at the same time, they'll say that while turning her down for movie roles and stuff. Like, just a thing over there. But she is
It's very unfortunate. And the thing is, like, a lot of uneducated people are gonna see this and hear me and say, "Oh, see, it's only not in America." No, this racism is everywhere. It's in China. It's in like I said, it's everywhere. The thing is that we're just talking about Latinos and all that other stuff, and I just gotta keep it real. You feel me?
hey, for real. Like real talk. But hey, it is what it is. What up, Bishop FDR?
Hey, what's good? What's good? Big salute, fams.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah, just wanted to chime in and agree with you fellas because I got family that's over in Puerto Rico, and of course we got the the light family versus the dark side, and a lot of times they live in the same city but won't invite each other to their cookouts. So I
Right.
have to go to each cookout to meet my entire family.
Okay. So wait, so say that one more time. You have to go where to meet who?
When I go to San Juan, Puerto Rico, where
Okay.
my family is, some of my family is, the I have to go to a separate cookout for the dark side versus the lighter side.
Word. So they not messing with each other that heavy.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's colorism, but it's still the same. I don't care what you name it. It's basically hate because of a hue, which is just ridiculous. But hey, to each his own. But it's even in my own family. So look, there's something going on that we need to address, but we got to address it head on. We can't sugarcoat it no more.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna actually sit down with a Latino um content creator next week, and we got to talk about this because it's like you can't expect someone to jump on board and fight with you when that person knows once this is done, once the battle is won, or even if the battle is lost, they get to go back to being just a nigga to you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what happened in the Haitian Revolution. Don't
I
ever
agree.
think your history is unique. There's nothing new under the sun. All this stuff has happened before. During the Haitian Revolution, the mulattoes are the ones who recruited the slaves to fight against the French. Well, after they defeated the French, the mulattoes are the descendants of French who mixed with the slaves. They wanted the slaves to go back into the fields. They're like, thanks a lot for helping us win. Now go back to the plantation as
Now,
slaves.
come on now.
That's
Preach the
crazy.
fire.
All this stuff originates in the prison system. I'm telling you. Well, it originates outside of the prison system, but it's exacerbated within the prison system. And because a lot of black men have been to jail and prison, they get out and they're like, yo, these people just don't mess with us. So it's crazy that now it's like, hey, y'all supposed to march with us. And it's like, okay. And then Hispanic people are like, we march with y'all during BLM. And it's like, hey, but it was a lot of black people wasn't messing with BLM though. So it's like, a lot of people look at BLM as like a white organization that just has black people at the fate as the face of it. So did you really
and
march with
and this
us?
is
Go
yeah,
ahead.
it is my fear. I feel like this is gonna become like a BLM for Latinos. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like this is not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna continue to the point where other people are gonna start benefiting and buying mansions in Mexico and all that other stuff. Also, on top of that, I don't think I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think Latinos need help. This is our fault. We need to hold our own nuts and ride this out because at the end of the day, we're currently 18, 19% of the population, right? So let's show what our power really is. Stop burning down 7-Elevens and actually burn down some ice facilities. If we're
Right.
really, if we're really gangster like that, let's keep it real. If we're really gangster like that, we really got it. Well,
Hey,
show
bro.
your real power.
Hey, bro. That's why I mess with you, because you got the same mind as me. Don't burn down the business of the person who gives you a job. Go burn down the government building. Don't be
Facts.
too scared to
And
ride on them.
Facts. And we spoke about this privately too. How
Yeah.
you gonna burn down? How you gonna burn down your pharmacy that where your grandma gets her medicine from? Now she got wild high blood pressure and all that other stuff. Come on now, you gotta go 10 miles away to get what she needed to get, which was like around the corner. Don't do that. That's
One
selfish.
100%. It's just ignorant, man. Hey, any final thoughts, Bishop?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring one thing to you, family in the chat. Just think about it. When he blew into that dirt, we all came from that same dirt, but there's different particles that make up the dirt. So we're all flawed, but it's all different types of dirt. So why are we fighting over different hues when actuality the bottom line is everybody needs to be able to be heard, and that's where I feel that we're missing each other, is that nobody wants to talk, everybody wants to scream, or or get the next word when they're not really listening to one another. So that's all I would like for people to understand, is that we're at an impasse where no more sweeping it underneath the rug. Let's come to the table and let's have some real talk.
Facts, 1,000%. 1,000%. But thank you, Radical Latino. Thank you, Bishop. I appreciate y'all coming up.
No doubt. Peace.
All right, guys. So, guys, should we do the Israel Iran, or should we wait for more developments to come out and do it tomorrow? I'm gonna let you guys decide. Give me a 1 if we should cover it now. Give me a 2 if we should wait until tomorrow, because this has been like an hour and 30-minute segment. I mean, I don't know if you guys are rocking with me. I know it's late where you are because it's 8 here. I can cover this tomorrow. Give me a 1 if you want to cover it tonight. Give me a 2 if you guys want me to cover it tomorrow. And I'm waiting for you guys. I'll give you 30 seconds. Please don't forget to like the stream. Let's do that too. Let's get the likes up. I need at least 100 likes, guys. We need at least 100 likes. We got like 158 people in here. We had 200 people in here, but obviously people are going to bed because it's late. I need 100 likes, my people. I know y'all can do it. I know we can do this together. Let me go over here so I can see the likes in real time. Real time. Yeah, we're at 88 likes. We need 12 more likes. Let's get 12 more likes, guys. We're gonna cover it. Let me get 12 more likes. I just checked it. Guys, let's get some more likes. Let's get 12 more likes. Hit that like button. There's some new info 2 hours ago. Oh, yeah, we're going to cover that. I'm looking at it right now because Iran just hit back at Israel, which is crazy. But we need to get these likes up. Let me like it my damn self. Hey, can you guys go to my video and like it? Come on, guys. We need 10 more likes. I got a goal. I want to get 100 likes on every video. Okay, we had 98. We need 2 more. Okay, so you guys are hearing this whole thing. Everyone's seeing this stuff going on with Iran. Israel has struck Iran. Iran has now retaliated. If you don't know why this is going on, just to let you know, basically for the last decade or more, Iran has been trying to develop its nuclear program. Now, Iran says they need to develop their nuclear program, for the creation of energy. Many countries use nuclear energy to power their electrical grids, which power, electricity in houses and stores and all that type of stuff. Iran is basically saying they're trying to modernize their energy grid through the use of enriched uranium, which is also used to make nuclear weapons. Due to the fact that Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terrorism, funding groups such as Hezbollah, Hamas, and many other Islamic extremist groups, Western countries are very afraid of the idea of Iran being able to enrich uranium. And ultimately, that would give them the power to build a nuclear weapon. So in recent years, presidents like Donald Trump, and I believe even George Bush might have done this too, have frozen Iranian monetary assets in the name of preventing Iran from funding terrorist groups and financing a nuclear program. Well, this situation got really bad when Barack Obama was elected, because against all sound advice, Obama unfroze monetary assets that belonged to Iran and basically dropped a pallet off at an Iranian airport with what I believe was $30 billion USD. Now, the money was Iran's, but it was being held from them because almost every government in the world believed that if they were given that money, they would use that money to fund terrorism. Well, Joe Biden, following in the footsteps of his predecessor, Barack Obama, he also unfroze what I believe was $18 billion in Iranian money, giving it to them. And only a few months after he unfroze that money, Iran funded Hamas, trained them, provided them with weapons, and Hamas launched the deadly attack on Israel that happened on October 7th, 2024. Was that 2024? No, 2023. I think that was 2023. During that attack, Hamas took over 100 hostages, some of whom I believe were Americans. And that is what started Israel's assault on Gaza, where Israel basically burned Gaza, bombed Gaza Strip to the ground, right? You guys saw the protests, the Free Palestine protests, all that stuff was all started because Iran funded Hamas. Hamas executed a terrorist attack on Israel, and Israel, in response, went into Gaza. Now, there's a bunch of history before that, but we're just talking about recent events. So everybody has gotten back on this boat or back on this wagon where they're like, we do not want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. We do not want Iran to be able to enrich uranium. So now Israel is saying that Iran is on the verge of being able to enrich uranium to the point where they can create a nuclear weapon. So in an attempt to stop Iran from doing that, Israel launched a preemptive strike against Iran. And I'm going to just play this to let you guys know what happened.
Israel has... Hello, very good morning. Thanks for joining us here today. Israel has launched what it calls a preemptive strike on Iran's nuclear facilities and other military targets. Benjamin Netanyahu promised the mission, dubbed Operation Rising Lion, would continue for as many days as it takes, saying Iran's nuclear program poses a threat to Israel's very survival. Well, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei vowed a harsh punishment in retaliation for the attack, saying Israel has brought a bitter and painful fate upon itself, and it will certainly face it. Well, the strikes, including on the capital Tehran, have killed the head of Iran's Revolutionary Guards, Major General Hossein Salami, according to Iranian state media. Well, Israel's military says 200 fighter jets completed strikes on more than 100 targets, including nuclear facilities in different areas of Iran. Israel's military claims Iran is advancing a secret program to build nuclear weapons and says Tehran has the capacity to make a nuclear bomb within days. Well, Iran's supreme leader says residential areas in Tehran have been hit, while the International Atomic Watchdog has confirmed the Natanz nuclear site was also targeted in the attacks. While Iranian media is reporting 2 of Iran's top nuclear scientists have been killed. Well, this is where strikes have been reported so far in the capital, Tehran, where Iranian state media is reporting residential areas have been hit and civilian casualties are also reported there. Khorramabad in western Iran, which is home to a large missile base, and Iran's main uranium enrichment facility at Natanz, where the International Atomic Energy Agency is now closely monitoring radiation levels. Well, in the last few minutes, Israeli military has confirmed that Iran has launched more than 100 drones towards Israel in the past few hours. Well, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says it launched the strike because of Iran's nuclear program poses a threat to the country's very survival.
Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, a targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival.
I really just don't be believing nothing Benjamin Netanyahu says ever since he said Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. But somebody brought up the Iran deal. The Iran deal was where the United States would allow Iran to enrich uranium to a certain extent. That was not enough to create nuclear weapons. But in 2018, Donald Trump withdrew from that deal, and Biden felt it wasn't good to re-enter the deal. So basically that deal is dead in the water.
This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. In recent months, Iran has taken steps that it has never taken before, steps to weaponize this enriched uranium. And if not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months, less than a year. This is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival.
Well, let's cross live now to Jerusalem. We can speak to our Middle East correspondent, Alistair Bunkle, who's there for us this morning. Hello to you, Alistair. So Benjamin Netanyahu has called this a decisive moment in Israel's history. Just how significant are these strikes by Israel on Iran?
They are very significant. They're targeting not just Iran's nuclear sites, but also their ballistic missile program. And as we know now, key leaders in the Iranian regime, the head, the commander of the Revolutionary Guard, the senior political advisor to the supreme leader, and potentially others. Multiple waves of Israeli strikes over the last few hours. More than 200 Israeli aircraft involved in the operation, we're told. They've struck more than 100 sites in and around Iran, the length and the breadth of the country. This is designed to, if not totally eliminate Iran's nuclear capabilities, at least to severely degrade it and push it back many, many years. But it is more than that. It is striking at Iran's wider military capabilities, its ability to be able to respond to Israel. And interestingly, in the last few minutes, we've heard that Iran has launched around 100 drones at Israel. Israel's working to shoot them down now. That would be Iran's first response, first retaliation as we know it. And it's not in the form of ballistic missiles, it's in the form of drones that can be lethal, but obviously travel much more slowly than ballistic missiles and don't.
Yeah, the drones are probably like Iran's only defense, their only offensive. The ballistic missiles just can't seem to get through the Iron Dome. Iron Dome is like the highest level of technology when it comes to anti-air, anti-missile defense. Somebody asked a cool question. How did Israel get enriched uranium? So first and foremost, what you have to understand about Israel is they deny that they even have nuclear weapons, but most people believe that they have between 90 and 400 nuclear missiles. Israel kind of in a way is kind of like hypocritical here because Israel didn't get their weapons grade uranium in a legal way. They actually stole it from the United States, from the Navy. So Israel got nukes by stealing the uranium to make them. And it's crazy because now they don't want, Iran to have the weapons. But I still have to come down on the side of Israel in this argument because as far as we know, Israel is not a state sponsor of terrorism. Israel ain't sending money. Actually, you know what? No, that's a lie. That's a lie. And I'm going to get myself in trouble. But it is proven that Israel has given money to Hamas. So this is a tricky situation. That's why I think the United States just needs to stay out of it.
Carry the same payload as ballistic missiles. Maybe that points to the damage that Israel has managed to inflict on Iran's ability to respond to this. We know that in addition to the Israeli Air Force operating overnight, many reports around in Israeli media that the Mossad, Israel's famous intelligence agency that has had success in Iran before, they have also been working to eliminate ballistic missile sites and parts of Iran's nuclear capability. So a huge, wide-ranging attack on Iran, and just the beginning. We expect this to last many days. This is not a one and done, but it does look as though Israel is trying to make it once and for all.
Yeah, so there are definitely retaliatory strikes. Iran has, shot back at Israel. This is what happens when you're in a conflict. Do I believe this is going to lead to World War III? Probably not. I don't think Iran wants to keep going with Israel. I believe whatever Israel wanted to destroy, I believe they've already destroyed it. But Iran just has to save face and come back with some type of retaliatory strikes.
Is launching retaliatory strikes against Israel on Friday. It's when they first came out. Israeli forces targeting nuclear and military sites in Tehran. U.S. is still hoping to salvage a nuclear deal as its prospects dwindle. Fox's Connor Hansen live in New York for us tonight with more. And Connor, tensions are high.
Alex, and we're seeing those missile strikes going back and forth now throughout the day. Now, the early morning hours in Israel, we're seeing waves of missile strikes coming from Iran, mostly intercepted by the air defenses, but some striking busy civilian centers like the Tel Aviv area where we've seen explosions. We're told at least one person was killed in a suburb of Tel Aviv and many more injured. There have been alarms and shelter orders all throughout the country. Air raid sirens sound as a barrage of missiles flies over Tel Aviv. State media says Iran launched hundreds of ballistic missiles towards Israel. Smoke over Tel Aviv suggests at least one landed. Iran's supreme leader vowing revenge.
Life will become bitter for them, without a doubt.
Iran's retaliation comes as Israeli jets continue to carry out strikes on Iran. The IDF releasing detailed graphics of nuclear sites it says have been destroyed as Iran was stockpiling enriched uranium. And video shows Israeli Mossad operatives working deep inside Iran to take out key defenses, even smuggling in drones.
Israel uncovered clear evidence that the Iranian regime was planning a surprise attack in coordination with their proxies.
Some of Iran's top military leaders and nuclear scientists have been killed. The U.S. has moved warships and flown in jets to protect personnel in the area. The president posted on Truth Social, quote, 2 months ago, I gave Iran a 60-day ultimatum to make a deal. They should have done it. Today is day 61. I told them what to do, but they just couldn't get there. Now they have perhaps a second chance.
The world is safer this morning than it was when we all went to bed last night, and the Iranian people are now given a real opportunity.
And Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has said their strikes against Iran could continue at least for the next couple of weeks. We're told he spoke with President Trump today. And as you heard there, the U.S. military is also helping shoot down some of those missiles heading towards Israel. Alex?
And Connor, yesterday it seemed like the big message from the U.S. government was, we have nothing to do with this, don't blame us, this is all them. But it does sound like the U.S. is coordinating at least with Israel today.
That's right, Alex. You have to imagine there is communication back and forth. U.S. is being careful not to conduct its own strikes.
I mean, I got people saying like hypersonic missiles, these jokers making up shit, they getting hammered, and this just to begin. Like, Hamza, I'm not really seeing that. And what I would like you to do is I would like you to take a step back and let's enter into the realm of logic, not emotion. Israel wants Iran to do something, because if Iran causes too much damage to Israel, that gives Israel the justification to basically wage open war against Iran. As we know with Gaza, Israel is down to just go and destroy some shit right now. They want to do that. The only thing that probably has prevented Israel from declaring all-out war on Iran, right, is the international community. But it just makes me feel like I kind of feel like Israel kind of wants to escalate, because they like, maybe Israel can't beat Iran alone. I don't know who will win out of that, but I do know Israel wants a fight, because Israel has who behind them? Israel's really not alone. That's what people don't realize. Israel can't. You guys give me the Turkish media and I'll look it up. Because you know that Israel would love to drag Iran and the United States into this stuff. Okay, so let's look. I really don't think Russia will help Iran. I really don't. I don't think Russia's going to help Iran. I think everyone's like going to stay out of it. Try to at least act like they're staying out of it. Russia has their own problems. I really don't think Russia is really big on, because if that was the case, why didn't Russia just say, you know what? We're back in Iran's nuclear program 100%, and if you mess with them, you're messing with us. That's what I don't get. Russia could have given Iran enriched uranium decades ago, and they never did. So you're going to help us fight a war, but you didn't help us. You didn't just give us enriched uranium. I don't think Russia and Iran is as tight as y'all think. I see the missiles, but I also see them getting taken out. But I'm gonna go back. Let's see. I want to see some strikes, dude. I want to see something hit. So when it goes dark like that, does it mean the missile was intercepted or what? Okay, did it get through? Looks like something's about to get through right here. What did you say? Oh, I thought I heard somebody say something. Guys, is this stuff getting through? It looks like the Iron Dome is fucking shit up right now. I'm trying to. I really don't see. I'm trying to see where something hit something. Guys, I'm looking at Turkish media. It's just a bunch of live streams, but I don't see anything hitting anything. I'm going to look up Iranian missiles hit Tel Aviv. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, damn. Yeah, they getting through. Some are getting through. Hey, so some are definitely getting through, man. I feel bad for those people over there. But this is what happens when people just you got two sides. Hey, I mean, Rock 2 Soul, it's messed up. I mean, they're shooting bombs at them and they're shooting bombs back. I don't think it's like one's messed up. I think that's just what's going on because it's war. Go ahead, TSM. Unmute your mic, TSM.
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, how are you? I tried to catch up because, like, I was in the way to talk about LA and the mass deportation stuff, but I caught you like talking about like Israel between Iran. It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty dangerous because I think we're going to a World War III for real. I believe we're on it.
I don't know. I don't know if I would go that far. I just don't really see China and Russia risking their economic future right now to go to war over Iran. I just feel like Iran is not big enough of a player for them to say, all right, let's go to World War III. Because everyone knows World War III hurts everybody right now. China's coming off of a economic trouble. Russia's definitely coming off some economic trouble. I don't think the citizens are going to go for it, bro.
Okay,
especially in America.
I'm agree with you on that. But the thing is, like, people, a country like Iran or stuff like that, people scared of them. Why? Because at the end of the day, they have nothing to lose. I'm telling you, those people over there, man, they can strike Israel for like this. They can use the nuclear bomb. They don't care because, like, in the spiritual mind, the Arabic, okay, Muslim, they're not Sunni, they're Shiite, okay, is another part of the Islamic religion, okay. So basically, man, those guys, they have nothing to lose. If they really want to get rid of Israel, they will bomb no matter what. I'm telling you, because Israel start to push the line, They
Right.
start to cross the line very bad because they start with Palestine, now they touch Iran. Who is next? Who is next? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's still
but
bad,
but
man.
nobody benefits if their population is dead. You know what I'm saying? Like you need people to rule over.
Yes, but look, we think like that, but those guys over there, like Israel already like strike them like two eyes. Okay, on their mindset, they're already dead. You know what I'm saying? They have nothing to lose. When you got nothing to lose, you can put everything on the table.
Yeah, that's
And I
true.
believe, Iran have nothing to lose. They're probably gonna wait. They're gonna wait maybe like what, 2, 3 months, 6 months. But if Israel are still striking them like that, they will do whatever they have to do for defend themselves. They Because they will never accept it to be conquered by Israel.
Oh no, they're not going to accept it, and and I,
Then
and I don't think that Israel should be allowed to conquer Iran. I honestly think that the other powers in the Middle East need to stand up to Israel and Iran and say, "Look, dude, we're tired of this shit. Like, focus on building, you know, urban centers versus just constantly fighting over stupid shit." Like,
yeah, but it's true. But you know why? That I learned because like in the most of those countries in the Middle East, they don't practice the same Islam as in Iran. Iran are Shiites. Shiite, that means they believe on the cousin of the Muhammad Prophet. And country like Qatar, Dubai, Oman, all those countries, they believe on the Prophet Muhammad. So it's a split on the religion mindset. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
some believe in the Prophet Muhammad and some believe on the cousin of the Prophet Muhammad. And they practice Islam, but it's not the same. So that's why Iran sometimes doesn't have the support from Dubai or doesn't have the support for Saudi Arabia because they practice two different Islam. And I think Israel knows that too.
So are
You know
they
what I'm saying?
Shia?
They're not fear. So they're not fear, but they know the only way for Iran to stand up is to have the bomb.
Right,
That's all.
right,
But in the religion term, they're not okay with Saudi Arabia and the rest of the Middle East. They practice
right.
another Islam. And that is very important to mention.
So they're practicing two different versions of Islam.
Yes, they got Sunni and they got Shiite.
Yeah,
Sunni is like regular Islam. Shiite is like something like the Muslim brother in US.
right,
They
right, right.
believe on the guidance of somebody else
So
on the Islam way.
they don't necessarily follow the Prophet Muhammad.
No, no, because that's why like in Iran they got someone called they got kind of king called like Ayatollah Khomeini.
Yeah, yeah, I know about that guy.
He's
That
a
guy's
Guide
wild.
Supreme, and the Guide Supreme is a Shiite Guide Supreme. So you can find some Shiite in Afghanistan, you can find some Shiite on Iran, you can find some Shiite like Iraq probably, you know, and that's it.
Right.
And the rest the Shiite, the Sunnite. Even West African are Sunnite. They're not Shiite.
So they're mostly just so Shia is like where the extremists come from.
Yeah, yes, 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 yes. Uh, Actually, in Senegal too, in Senegal in West Africa, they got some kind of Shiite too. They believe on kind of supreme guidance over there too,
Okay.
and that's affect the political behavior. And that's what I say. I'm telling you, if it's Iran, if it's Israel keep attacking Iran, they will be forced to use what they can to protect themselves, and they will.
Okay. Man, this stuff is so confusing, man. These people, it's like I just look at these people like, man, what about your kids and stuff? Like, damn, bro, like your kids got no future. They getting bombed. All because like I get like they don't even mind them enriching. Like I know the United States was like they
It's
can,
true. It's true. But the funny part of that, Brandon, is like, you know what? Actually, I'm in Los Angeles, and you live in LA too.
mm,
And we between Los Angeles and Iran, they have a big history. We got a big Iranian community out here in Los Angeles.
right.
All right. So even sometimes, like you can see on once a year, the Iranian community, they flew from Iran to Los Angeles, blocking downtown, and they do some kind of event in downtown LA. You can see that. It's on
Yeah,
Broadway.
yeah,
Okay. And those are shit. And the thing is, like, even like since the 70s and the 60s, a lot of Iranians used to be Jewish. And a lot of Iranians flew Iran because of that.
yeah. They
Because of
fled
that.
around. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So like,
Well,
you
when the
know,
Ayatollah was allowed to come back after they overthrew the Shah,
exactly. So
they
it's a deep story, and they have a link. It's funny to have a link with Los Angeles, but actually, it really is because they flew to Los Angeles, most of them. You
yeah.
know, they get banned from the country. They come to Los Angeles. They build the businesses. They build their own community, like Armenian did. Right? But
Okay,
those over there, man, they will never accepted that Israel take over the country. Oh, hell no.
okay. Well, I don't know what they're gonna do. Do I think this is World War III? I really hope not. I think that I think Iran will come to the table for a deal because I really believe at the end of the day, Iran, the people of Iran, they really want to get back to a point where they are, making progress and growing. Because people don't know this, but back in the 70s, Iran was one of the leading countries on earth when it came to the development of their civilization.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
but the United States basically just fucked them over. President Jimmy Carter, he he basically um he basically overthrew indirectly overthrew the Shah of Iran and
Mhm.
allowed the Ayatollah. Is the Ayatollah now the same as back then? Is that still Khomeini or whatever?
I think it's like the modern one, like the third one or the four Ayatollah. I need to check online, but like he's one of them. Yes.
Yeah. So the Ayatollahs are like religious leaders,
Yeah, the
right?
religious leader. Yes, and they're not friend with Qatar and Dubai. They're not friend with them.
No.
So man, and that's why like they have the bomb because they know like nobody like them based on the religion belief. So basically they find themselves have the bomb to protect themselves. But I'm very surprised like Israel taking the risk to attack them. That's crazy to me.
Israel to me just doesn't give a shit. Israel to me is like I feel like Israel feels like America is going downhill, so they're like, let's just like attack everybody while America is still strong, so we can like carve out a place for ourselves.
Yes, and also like I just believe Israel become drunk on power. They become drunk of power. No, for
Yeah,
real.
I
Because
don't even see how Netanyahu's still in power, honestly.
no, I think it's like because they make us feel like Netanyahu is somebody like they don't like him. No, they claim like he have to leave or stuff like that, but behind the door they like him because he's a part of the agenda.
Well, what I think is, I think they do want Netanyahu to leave, but I think Netanyahu does kind of like what the Democrats do. Whenever you want him to go, he finds something to scare you with to where you just like accept him staying.
Mm, Probably, but also like I also believe like
Because before the attack on October 7th, he was on his way out. They wanted to get rid of that fool. And then boom, October 7th. And many people say that Netanyahu knew the October 7th attack was coming.
probably, but I also believe like he's a part of the agenda. They have an agenda, take over the land. You know, Jewish people, the only thing that matter for them is the real estate. Look, Look, even Trump, he said, when we take over Middle East, we're gonna build like hotel over there, hotels,
Would that
resort.
be such a bad idea?
Yes, yes, it is because, like, like at the end of this day, it's not your land, so you take somebody else's
I don't
land.
think that's a bad idea. They ain't doing nothing over there but fighting. Shit.
Yeah, no, I get your points, but at the end of the day, you can't remove the people. They've been over there for like
I don't even
100
think you're
years.
gonna. I don't even think they're gonna remove them. I think they're just gonna like give them the opportunity to do something better with their time than constantly fighting.
I don't think so. I think they're just drunk of power. They're drunk
Maybe
of
they are.
power.
That's
Yeah.
possible.
They're drunk of,
But you-
when you drunk of power, you become kind of, when you drunk of power, no matter who you are, like Didi, politics, whatever, you become supreme, and you think like everything you do is right no matter what.
oh
And I
yeah, of
think that's
course.
the yeah, they become sick of it. And I believe like that's the position actually of Israel. They're just like become drunk of it. They know now they got the technology to do what they want to do. So let's go. Why not?
No, I agree with this. They were pushing Netanyahu out. That's why he let the September 6th attack happen. Right. I think it
Yeah.
was October though.
And even if Netanyahu step down, it's gonna be another guy worse than him
Who
because they
knows?
have an agenda. No, they have an agenda.
I
They
mean,
have an agenda. If your agenda is to get the most of land as possible to build what you want to build on it, and you feel like nothing can stop you, you're gonna do it.
let me get this super chat. Shout out to my boy
Mhm.
JC. Tell the truth, Brandon. The Shaw was replaced by the US. Of course, I said that. Jimmy Carter set that nigga up. He said he got too big for his britches, and old Jimmy had to go take his ass out. Hey, also shout out to Sticks and Stones LA, man. Shout out to y'all for the super chat, the $5 holler. Hey, who's gonna hit the cash app? I need dinner. It's late. I didn't miss dinner. Yeah, I'm relying on y'all to feed me tonight. The cash app is pinned to the top of the chat. Kick something down so I can go grab something to eat. I think I'm in the mood for like chicken kebab. That sounds like a good meal for me tonight. But hey, bless me and I bless you all. Hey, Sticks and Stones LA, I can't get back. For some reason, like on this browser, I have a hard time going back to the super chats. Like I can't find them. So if I go private chat here, yeah, I can't get back to the super chats. Let me see. I don't know how to do this crap. But anyway, yeah. So that's what's going on, guys. That's what's going on, guys.
Yeah, man. So, hey, Brandon, you're gonna talk back. You are still talking about LA or not?
Go ahead. You can drop your point on LA.
Yeah, because like I was trying to
Because you're
connect with
working down there, right?
yeah. And it's funny because like I got a multiple position on it. I'm walking down here by downtown Los Angeles, and I know the area perfectly. Okay, and even myself as an West African European immigrant, so I can tell how I feel about it and how I feel about the Mexican community, how I feel about the politics in LA. Okay, I will summarize. I believe, like, the tension between the Latino, the Black, and the politics in LA is pretty weird because, like, as a Black immigrant by myself, when I come down to LA, I get hooked by Mexicans for some job and stuff like that. Okay,
Right.
all right. That's shout out to them because like they really understand what is the immigration is. No matter where you're coming from, Mexican can always like listen you and try to be nice, can be nice with you. But on the same time, when I upgrade my position in Los Angeles, I start living here more and more and more. Also, a lot of Mexicans also in the same way, they're fucked up on the workplace. For example, like when they see a black man, you know, from the staff who just like get a new job and stuff like that. They make everything they can to make sure you lost it. So
Oh,
like, yeah, it's true. It's true. Like I gave you an example. Like you can go to a workplace. Like you can see like from 10 employees, you can see only like one black, or even sometimes zero. And I understand. they're based on the numbers out here. But sometimes I feel that's unfair on the workplace, and that's like I understand also why the black community and the white community feel a little frustrated on it because they feel like because of the Democratic Party they can get away with everything they want,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's tough. What's going on right now is pretty tough because like we get the point of nobody understand each other, you know, and like LA will be a fire, man. This need to stop because like they will never accept it that Trump deporting like a million of Mexican mom and Mexican father back home. It doesn't work like that, you know, and like and we never saw that before. So what do you think about it?
I think that Trump's intention is not to deport millions of people. I think Trump's intention is to deport criminals. And
Yeah,
that's the issue right now. It's like
that
you're getting crazy over criminals, and then you just lose the argument because the American people support the deportations.
yes, but the thing is like, okay, he said he's gonna remove the criminals, but recently we saw like he's going to South LA and whatever, like just ramping down with the car wash station and stuff like that. What the hell is that? But I get what he tried to do. What he tried to do, he tried to say, hey guys, even if that doesn't mean because like you come from South America or you Latino or whatever, you immigrant and you work at the car wash, make you a good guy, because this kind of job also it should be maybe for young Americans or Americans try to just get extra money on doing that. But do you believe, Brandon, like if Trump do his mass deportation stuff and they get rid of all the Mexicans, do you think like Americans are ready to go back work at the car wash?
Hell yeah.
Nah, come on, man.
No, like
Come
what
on.
you got to understand, bro, is the jobs that Hispanic people do now, those are jobs that like our teenagers and stuff used to do.
I
So
got it.
now those people don't really have opportunities because like grown men are working those jobs. But bro, I'm gonna be real with you. It's a lot of people out here who will do a lot of jobs. Like you don't think so, but one thing with some Hispanic people, they'll say like, we're doing the jobs Americans don't want. But do Americans even have the opportunity to get those jobs if it's all Mexicans and they discriminate in hiring?
No, it's true though. I understand because it's no.
Because
I get the point.
okay, let's say you have a black woman. She's a
Mm,
waitress. She loses
mm.
her job. You think she minds working at a Mexican food restaurant waiting tables? She doesn't care, but a Mexican restaurant's not going to hire her.
It's true, but sometimes also the problem is what they have a lot of cultural like miscommunication, and on the same time, it's true though. Like for example, like I give you an
Bro,
example. Like,
anybody could carry a plate to a table, bro. You don't
of
got to.
course, thank you, bro.
I see black Americans working in African restaurants.
But culturally we cannot say. At the end of the day, even you have some like miscommunication or stuff like that. But we know spiritually we cannot
But
say.
Mexican people work in black restaurants.
They do because, but the point I try to make is like the discipline. The discipline. It's sad to say. It's sad to say, but like black people, okay, who live in London, who live in LA, who live in Paris, okay, we lost it. We lost our discipline. We lost our discipline to just listen and order. Honestly, for real, like even like you can see some Latinos working at the black restaurant, but they listen. They listen. They're not emotional like as we are. Black people are really emotional. Like if you say a woman like she's looking for an extra job to work at the Mexican restaurant or to go work at the car wash, if she says she's tired and the owner say, "Hey, we got an extra car, we have to take care about it." You know, a black man or black woman is gonna become emotional and say, "Hey, fuck, I do whatever I want to do," and that's
I
the
mean,
problem.
I'm not gonna say there aren't people like that, but I've never been like that. Like I was always the bro. That's what I'm telling you. There are black people who like work overtime and can you stay? Yes, and all that. That I used to hire people because I worked as a manager at a grocery store, and what I realized was when you're a manager, you realize that there are just people like that in every race. There are
It's
people
true.
Like I had a Mexican lady named Brenda. She was just a total bitch. She never wanted to stay, always wanted to leave early, but will always complain about her hours. She would listen, she would ask me, can she leave early every day? Like she will work, she will have an 8-hour shift. She will work till 2 or 3, and she's supposed to work at 8 to 4 with an hour break, 8 to 5 with an hour break. She would say, hey, if I skip my lunch, can I leave at like 3? Right? I'm like, okay, but you're scheduled 8 to 5. Oh, but this and that. So I would let her leave. So she was getting 40 hours. So I said, well, look, I'll give her 35 hours next week because she's always asking to leave early every day. So I work her 8 to 2 every day, and then she can leave early. Dude, this lady freaking went to my freaking district manager. He cut my hours. I said, dude, you're asking to leave every day. So no one can really argue like along the lines of race because I've experienced all different types of attitudes, work ethics from people of different races. I've met lazy Asians, bro. This guy named Simon, he was a dick. He just never did his job. Then I met like one of the hardest black dudes I've ever had working on me. His name was Deshaun. This guy was I'm talking about, he was a machine, bro. Like work until midnight, 2 a.m., show back up the next day at 7 a.m. on time, ready to go. So I get what you're saying, but that stuff exists in every culture. Now, also, I think when you work around your own people, you're kind of more motivated to like show up, and they're willing to kind of tolerate your bullshit a little bit more.
It's true. That's they do between each other, you know.
Because I had a bunch of Mexicans who work for me, and those fools used to show up drunk all the time.
Yeah, you know, I'm agree on that. You know, they got some dysfunction on all ways. So what I'm trying to say is like, of course, but they're less emotional than us.
I don't even
Maybe
think they're
not
less
disciplined,
emotional.
they're
They
less
get
emotional.
away with shit when they work for each other. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
black people are emotional, but you would be emotional too if you were held accountable and the next person wasn't, bro. Like, bro, you wouldn't even believe some of the crazy shit I done seen working on some of these jobs. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when your boss is Mexican, when the manager's Mexican, you're getting special treatment, bro. If you're
Of course,
Mexican.
no, that's 100%. Even myself, I did experience that. Sometimes, like, of course, like, I'm not racist. I like everybody, but it's true. Sometimes, like, me myself, I got a lot of issue with Latinos on that, because, like, the thing is, like, they play the unfair card. So basically, I'm an immigrant. I'm black immigrant, but at the end of the day, I'm black. So sometimes, like, even like I used to work with them, and it doesn't work well because, like, what they do is like they have the agenda. So basically, for them in their mindset is like everything is for them and nothing for the other people. They're not that like, intellectual, open as we are. You know, like for example, us as a black business owner, a black manager, we try to make we can take like everybody on the same on the payroll on the schedule. But then sometimes you can go apply for a job. If the manager is Mexican, he take your resume and put it in the garbage.
But also,
Be-
like one thing I learned too with Hispanic workers, like sometimes the manager or the owner even he'll hire you, he'll pay you, and then he'll make you kick back money to him.
Yeah, or sometimes like
You
they hire you because they for diversity, but they will give you what 1 day or 2 days a week, and most of the Hispanic is going to take the best schedule. They do no, I know we do this kind of
bro,
they do
I
this kind of
have
tricky
people
stuff. But
listen. I worked at an auto body parts delivery service. Bunch of Hispanics. It was a guy who was the manager. He was hiring everyone. The place was owned by another guy. He lived in another state or something. That manager would hire people, but he would tell them, he would hire Mexican guys. He would hire illegals too. But he would tell those illegals when they got their paycheck, they better kick them down $200. I kid you not.
that's
I
crazy.
kid you not. He would make them like, okay, say you want to get hired, right? And you're illegal. Back in those days, California didn't give illegal immigrants driver's licenses, right? So they would have cars, but they wouldn't have a license. He would tell them, I'll hire you. If you don't have a license, I'll hire you. but you got to kick me down $200 off your paycheck.
Wow.
So it was totally, so was it any surprise that it was all Hispanics working there? Because why? Because one, they're just thankful to have a job. You know, they're like, hell yeah. And those Latino guys, they were literally like happy that like, yeah, I give him the $200 and he lets me drive and I don't have a license. Like,
Yeah,
shit was
because what they
crazy,
do
bro.
with yeah, because what they do on the weekend, they do barbecue between together. They go watch the soccer game together. So at the end of the day, they create their own kind of economy between them. And it's true though. I believe we get we get this point in LA how like there was a thing they can over smart everybody, all communities, but America doesn't work like that. Honestly, I'm not surprised this year we talk about a mass deportation because, like, even I have a lot of Hispanic friends. I used to tell them, "Hey, guys, here in California, guys misbehave. Guys misbehave because guys is where I remember guys sometimes look down on the other communities and don't pay the fair card."
I
And I
mean,
was hearing that, huh?
you got a lot of immigrants in California who are so spoiled that they do crazy stuff. Like if you're an illegal immigrant, bro, why are you beating up your wife, getting arrested? See, that's also one of the ways Trump them are tracking people. They're going by criminal record. And if you've taken like domestic violence class, you're paying child support, all that stuff, you got to put down an address in a workplace. And that's how they're tracking people.
Yes, but on the same time, you know why we get this kind of points? Because at the end of the day, what's happened? When you live in a city as an illegal immigrant from South America or whatever, the police is Mexican. The fire department
hell yeah.
are Mexican. The sheriff, most of the sheriff, the staff in the sheriff are Mexican. The council
So they
member
let people
are
slide.
Mexican. You believe you can get away with everything. You understand? So basically, because Mexican have the agenda, the spiritually think they own California based on their history. I understand that. You know, spiritually they believe they belong here because of the history. You know what I'm saying? But on the same time, that's create mass behavior. There, like even like you can see an illegal immigrant just yelling at American over shit like he's in Mexico. It's just crazy, you know, because they feel they can get away with it. Here in LA, even myself as a black man, I experience more racist interaction with Mexican than white people.
Yeah,
How
that's
you can
true.
explain that?
In California, that's true. You're gonna get called the N-word by a Hispanic more than a white person.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
But hey, go ahead.
So that's why I say every coming to get the points, like when I was saying for Iran stuff like that. That's we get the same name. When you become drunk of power, you become narcissist. That's it.
That is possible. But thank you, bro, for calling in. I'm about to end this. Thank you so much.
Take care. Be safe.
Peace. Hey, thank you guys for tapping in with me. I hope you leave this live stream more informed. I hope you follow me throughout my week, all the different channels I'm on, all the different conversations I'm having. Shout out to all my day ones. You guys have been rocking with me since the very beginning. It's amazing to be in the place that I'm in, the position that I'm in, and it's amazing to still be able to have a connection with you guys and just check in and make sure everything is good. I'm gonna start producing more content on my channel for you guys because we can't forget, the love that we had at first, and we can't forget to keep doing what got us here. So tomorrow I'll see you all again. It will be Saturday, so we can have some fun, and can't wait. Until the next time, please take care of yourselves, but most importantly, take care of each other. Peace.